We had the special extension policy, which we've been paying for the last 11 years. We've been paying premiums on this, and we have met every single requirement of the insurers. We lodged our first claim about 5 days before lockdown, and we have been messed around and asked for more information for the last 3 months. It goes on and on and on. We give them the information they require, and they ask for more information. So we've met every single requirement, but the insurers are still resisting to pay. And as I said, we are not alone in this. It's virtually everyone in the hospitality industry, not only in South Africa, but around the world. The insurers seem to have collaborated to not pay claims, and it's completely immoral.
What is their reason? What is the reason they're giving you for denying your claim, or have they not yet denied it?
They have denied it. Their reason is that we have to prove that our loss is due to the COVID-19 virus and not due to the government shutdown, which is ludicrous because anyone knows it's one and the same thing. But that is what they're hiding behind right now, and it's really not justifiable.
Well, that was William van der Riet of the Cathedral Peak Hotel talking to me on Monday night. Well, to give us more guidance, I'm joined now by the Senior Assistant Insurance Ombudsman, Peter Nkhuna. Good evening, and thank you so much for your time to help us understand this issue. There are a number of hotels that have been impacted. COVID is a notifiable disease, and yet the insurer is arguing that even if you had business interruption cover for a notifiable disease, the reason your business was interrupted is not because of a disease, but because of the shutdown. Could you explain, is that the heart of the problem?
Well, I am familiar with that argument, and I think it is basically a question of what is called the concept of causation in law. When assessing a claim, and one of the things that you need to prove is that the loss for which you're claiming was caused by the insured event. Now, part of proving causation, and those who are lawyers may understand that there are two elements to it. There's firstly the element of factual causation. So there the test will be but for COVID-19 having taken place, would the business have suffered the loss that it did? And probably the answer to that one would be ticked yes, and that would be fine for the claimant. The problem might lie with the second aspect, which is the legal causation aspect. And the legal causation aspect will basically, in quick short terms, will say if there is another intervening cause between the alleged cause and the result, which would be the loss in this case, that intervening cause would be considered to be the more proximate cause, and therefore the claim may not be valid. And in this case, I think if I understand the argument correctly, the argument is that COVID-19 may be the factual cause, but the lockdown is the intervening cause. And basically the argument would go along the lines of saying the lockdown does not necessarily flow from the excess of COVID-19. And that is why in certain countries there hasn't been the same extent of lockdown, and therefore...
I'm so sorry to interrupt you because we are against the clock, but I understand you have been approached by some hotels who are victim to what looks really like quite a useful loophole. Are you able to assist them? Does the short-term insurer ombuds have an opinion on this? Because it's not just the letter of the law, it's also the spirit of the law in this case.
We don't have a particular position, and that is essentially because our function requires of us to assess each matter on its own merits, and with the understanding that there are different policy provisions which have different implications. Each matter that comes to our office will be assessed on that basis, and then we will make a determination in that regard. There isn't a one-size-fits-all type of approach at all.
Are you currently considering the matter, though? Have you been approached?
We have had a number of complaints related to the matter, yes.
Okay, but you haven't made a decision yet, is that correct? No.
The process takes a little bit long because you have to first collate the information.
I understand.
Process it.
And sure. Yeah, what I want to ask you is slightly related. A couple of things. First of all, this is not just a problem faced here in South Africa, but it's an international problem. And my understanding is, with the amount of claims in the United Kingdom, for example, if insurers paid them out, it would collapse the entire sector. So that suggests there has to be some sort of potential compromise made, and I understand that there are some attempts to do that. Do you think that there needs to be some sort of compromise? Because it can't be that an entire industry, the hotel and hospitality industry, if there are over 100 claims, as I believe there are, not necessarily sitting with you, those all face closure. So surely there has to be some middle road taken. Do you know if that's something that's on the table?
Well, look, I know that there is a campaign or a lobby group that is sort of launching a class action of sorts, and they are in negotiations in that regard. And there is also talk that should the negotiations fail, it might head to court. So I think we can only wait and see how that goes. But definitely, when dealing with matters of this nature, there can be compromises reached.
Absolutely. Well, it's certainly something to think about, and we hope to hear progress from you as you look at those individual claims that have been lodged with you. That was Peter Nkhuna, Senior Assistant Ombudsman at the Short-Term Ombudsman.